Do you feel lost in a bureaucratic maze, stuck navigating endless paperwork and red tape? For millions of Indians, dealing with government institutions and processes can feel like an impossible puzzle. Red tape, bureaucratic inertia, and endless paperwork often stand between citizens and the services they need. Every minute spent battling bureaucracy is a minute lost. Lost time for entrepreneurs to build their dreams, lost opportunities for students to pursue their education, and lost chances for families to access basic necessities. The human cost of inefficient government systems is staggering. Of late, different legislations and economic reforms of the Government of India have been emphasizing on what is called process reforms. These sets of reforms are effectively aimed to address these very concerns and make bureaucratic processes more streamlined and make state institutions more accessible to the citizens of India. Join us in this interactive exploration of the process reforms, as has been emphasized by the government in recent times, and how they are going to affect the broader citizen-state interface. First, let's try and understand what is meant by the term reform. Administrative thinker Gerald E. Caton remarked that reform is based on the simple idea that man should not wait for changes to take place naturally, but should seek to speed by artificial means improvements in the world order. In recent times, the landscape of economic policies and legislations in India has been marked by a strategic focus on reforms. Two prominent pillars of this transformative journey include structural reforms and process reforms. Structural reforms, often referred to as Big Bang reforms, aim to overhaul the underlying systems and structures governing the institutions and the economy. One notable recent example of this is the indirect taxation reforms brought about by the introduction of the Goods and Services Tax or GST in 2017. This comprehensive change sought to streamline and unify the fragmented tax structure prevailing in the country. Process reforms, on the other hand, are about the simplification and smoothing of specific procedures where the government's presence as a facilitator or regulator is crucial. An instance of this is the framework for involuntary liquidation under the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code of 2016, which aimed to simplify the process of dealing with financially distressed businesses. The idea of process reforms was emphasized by Economic Survey 2020-21 and also by policymakers of the Union government at various fora. In the intricate tapestry of governance, the emphasis on process is not just a matter of administrative fine-tuning. It's a strategic imperative woven into the very fabric of economic progress. Let's unravel why the government places such a significant emphasis on dynamic process reforms. First and foremost, process reforms act as catalyst for economic growth. By streamlining and simplifying bureaucratic procedures, the government aims to create an environment where businesses can thrive, innovate, and contribute to the nation's prosperity. Moreover, the government recognizes that efficient processes are integral to fostering a culture of entrepreneurship. By reducing red tape, simplifying compliance, and ensuring a business-friendly environment, process reforms encourage the spirit of innovation and risk-taking. Furthermore, as the nation aims to position itself as a global player, an efficient and well-organized administrative framework becomes a vital component. Process reforms enhance India's competitiveness on the international stage, attracting investments and fostering collaborations. These set of reforms are a response to the evolving needs of a globalized world. In an era of rapid technological advancements and changing business dynamics, agility is the key. Process reforms ensure that government machinery is nimble, adaptable, and capable of responding promptly to emerging challenges. Beyond economic considerations, these reforms are a commitment to good governance. Transparency, accountability, and citizen-centric services are at the core of process reforms, ensuring that the government serves the people efficiently and with integrity. Lastly, in a country as diverse as India, with multiple socio-economic challenges, process reforms are a means to ensure that the benefits of development reach every corner. By enhancing the delivery of public services, the government aims to create an inclusive and equitable society. Now let's delve into the guiding principles that steer the course of dynamic process reforms, shaping a more efficient, transparent, and responsive governance system. Simplifying complex processes and ensuring clear communication around each step. National single window systems being set up to streamline various approvals required to start a business is a case in point. Clearly defining goals and align all efforts towards achieving those goals, the Pragati or Proactive Governance and Timely Implementation Initiative, where the government monitors and expedites projects from right at the top, exemplifies this principle in action. Design processes can adapt to changing circumstances and incorporate new technologies. An example is the quality cum cost-based selections criteria in government tendering, reflecting the commitment to staying agile in a dynamic environment. Foster a culture of ongoing process review and refinement, incremental improvement and adoption of digital public infrastructure, and India's stack in governance and public service delivery demonstrate the government's dedication to continuous enhancement. Involve all stakeholders in the process, including those who perform the tasks and those affected by the outcome. The Community Forest Management Initiative stands as an exemplary model where local communities actively participate in decision-making processes. Though process reforms have been emphasized by policymakers and various government documents in recent times, it doesn't come without its fair share of challenges. Let's decode the crisis points hindering smooth implementation of these crucial changes. The existence of a procedure-oriented Weberian bureaucratic system can lead to inefficiencies, bottlenecks, and delays. A system overly reliant on processes rather than outcomes may hinder the swift execution of reforms. Another notable hurdle is the phenomenon known as backseat driving by bureaucrats. This challenge stems from the tendency of bureaucrats to take an overly controlling role in administration. Instead of facilitating change, some bureaucrats may impose unnecessary rules, create overlapping laws, or introduce cross-purpose regulations. This form of bureaucratic resistance can hinder smooth execution of reforms, leading to inefficiencies, delays, and at times even undermining the intended objectives of the reforms. An oft-cited example of this is the cumbersome process involved in closure of businesses, resulting in what is called Chakravyuh challenge for entrepreneurs in India. Bounded rationality is another factor that results in cognitive biases, short-term focus, and oversimplistic decision-making. Bounded rationality is a term coined by Nobel laureate Herbert Simon, which suggests that due to cognitive limitations, time constraints, and information process constraints, individuals often make decisions that are rational within the confines of their available information and cognitive abilities. Due to bounded rationality, leaders and decision makers may face challenges in comprehensively addressing complex issues, leading to suboptimal decisions and outcomes. The lack of objective performance metrics and insufficient public participation can hinder the monitoring and evaluation of reforms. Without robust monitoring mechanisms, it becomes challenging to assess the impact of reforms and make data-driven adjustments. Now that we have identified the challenges, let's pinpoint the specific areas where process reforms are not just desirable but imperative of the continued growth and efficiency of governance. The bureaucratic machinery often encounters inefficiencies in administrative procedures, causing delays and hindering responsiveness. It is essential to streamline administrative processes, ensuring they are efficient, transparent, and citizen-centric. Complex legal and judicial procedures can lead to delays and inefficiencies in the justice system. Reforms in this area involve simplifying legal processes, leveraging technology for case management, and ensuring timely and fair resolution of disputes. The business landscape thrives in a conducive regulatory environment. Process reforms in business and economic regulations should aim to reduce red tape, simplify compliances, and create business-friendly atmosphere, fostering innovation and economic growth. Timely and cost-effective infrastructure projects contribute significantly to a nation's progress. Reforms in this domain should involve improving project management, ensuring transparent tendering processes, and expediting approvals to accelerate infrastructure development. Recognizing the existing challenges is the first step toward resolving them. In this regard, it's crucial to acknowledge and appreciate that the policymakers have taken a proactive stance in recognizing the challenges associated with process reforms. Now, armed with this understanding, let's explore the way forward, practical steps and strategies to overcome these challenges. Strengthen ex-ante accountability by vesting more power in administration and holding them accountable before the implementation of reforms. Transparency, decision-making through digitization of compliance and regulatory updates, along with enacting the Transparency of Rules Act, can enhance public trust. A resilient ex-post resolution mechanism is vital. Strengthen institutional and social audit mechanisms, ensuring efficient dispute resolution. Finally, reforming the administrative architecture in line with the government's vision of minimum government, maximum governance. As we wrap up this discussion, it's imperative to remember that the success of process reforms relies on a harmonious partnership between policymakers, bureaucrats, and the larger community. Together, let us script a future where every challenge met is an opportunity seized, and every reform enacted is a step towards a more empowered and resilient tomorrow.